Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pino back with another video. Sorry for the delay on some of these videos. I got two of them I'm going to be posting today. Anyway, this is round 10. Pretty important war. The significance of this is we're trying to secure Platinum 1, which I think we do have it secured in a sense at that time because I'm kind of going back and doing this over. But, you know, you definitely wanted to win. We had won the previous round with a tier 1 multiplier at the start, so we wanted to try to do this again. There's our matchups. AE is one in front of us. Their war rating was a little bit lower than ours, but they're good. I mean, they've been around for a while, you know, as far as I like calling them gatekeepers. Interesting bands. Looks like the alliances in the top, you know, they've picked up on what works really well, and Colossus band is really fucking smart. But we've got some other champs that, again, you can counter around the particular global. I'm going to run Havoc, and he's one of them. He's ranked 4 SIG 200. If you've seen the videos that I've done, you know your boy Pino be packing a punch with Havoc. You're laughing probably, but Ant-Man is coming in for really one fight, and it's a tough, hard fight. I had to rank 3 him. I've never used him in war. I've barely used him in any content other than synergy purposes. But I'm bringing him. Ultrons, I had got him and then awakened him earlier before this season started in off season. He's a newly ranked 3 this season. And this is the first time I'm running him in Alliance War in a long time, and definitely as a 6-star. So for the last few seasons, I've never had him as a 6-star, but I need him for this round because he is debuff detox for some fights on Path 4. Now, we were kind of strapped for this map. They had a good defense, and then you're going to see it. I'm going to take Path 9 Section 1, and then I've got to cross over to Path 4 Section 2. This Korg, not a big stressor, but the fight after him, which is that Sorcerer Spider-Man, is. You know, I go to check the SIG just to see. I'm pretty confident if it's a rank 4, it's probably SIG 200, right? Name of the game for this particular this matchup is I am going to be limited to hit him in the hazard shift of Incinerate because he's immune. Build up some plasma debuffs, get to the SP3, start with a PS1, go big power backs for mutant, and not just for this fight, but for the hazard shift fight, Incinerate and Shock. There's a Terrax there, and I'm going to use Havoc since Colossus is banned. If you know how to play them and you can adjust and understand and debuff detox, and you don't have to really worry about too much, even though like Terrax, for example, has the armor breaks, and we'll get to that fight. But I just told you I've got some tough fights. The Sorcerer Spider-Man, I've only faced him one other time in Alliance War, and that was Master Seasons last season, before I departed Kingpin. I had Human Torch access. Everything was going great in that fight. He got to an SP2, and the block damage nuked me. So I know I don't want anything to do with his SP2. Now, the node itself is actually benefiting me to avoid that because of the node with the power. So I did free duels against a rank 5 Sorcerer Spider-Man that somebody had, which was really cool, using my 6-star rank 1 at the time before I ranked 3'd him and dueled. And I played it and I was like, okay, this will work because he's poison immune. He's buff immune, and this avoided me having to use the other option, which was Spider-Man 99 with AV, buff immune, just rupture damage him to death. If you make contact, back off of him so you know you're not stacking debuffs. That was the other option, but it just didn't work with the other fights that needed to be covered. So I took it upon myself to be the guy to take this fight, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now, in this one here, you can see it. I've done so many of these fights. I don't know how many times I've fought a Korg, but if I see one, I'm normally taking him because he's normally on a path that is an issue path. And you see there, I make the mistake. He purified. He slaps me in the face. It is what it is. You see the rock shield is down. I'm trying to get to that SP3. And rock shield is back up. So I don't want to fire it until I know I get it off. Now, watch what's going to happen. Light. I throw the SP3. I'm tapping my buttons and I can't throw it. This is the second time it's happened. I'll never do this again. And you see there I eat a SP1 because for some reason the Kabam gods would not let me throw my SP3 after I ended combat with a fucking light 1. Anyway, watch the nuke damage on this. What is this? Look at that. 118k plus the 25k nuke from the plasma debuffs. Whoo! Nuked him. I knew that was going to happen. All right, so this has got to be the most entertaining fight I've ever done in a very, very long time. Why? Because I'm going to use freaking Ant-Man. I mean, you name somebody. I want to see a video where someone's using Ant-Man in war for attack. You find one and you're on the channel, subscribe. And I don't have too many, and I'm not really worried about it because I'm here to dump my data onto YouTube versus my phone. Just watch when you see this fight. I was going to keep this low since Sorcerer Spider-Man's coming out new, but watch this. All right. I started with an SP1 and I'm running big boost to carry over. When you start the SP1, once you get 1 bar of power, he's going to be indestructible. And it lined up with the Incinerate charge about halfway, so that way I didn't have too much. Now, you're going to see me, I do a lot of parry. I kind of purposely back myself up into the wall, but that was because I had dueled and I was very, very comfortable with after doing 5 duels of this. Some of this I knew I was like, just take the block damage, you'll glance, maybe dex the second one. I didn't have a lot of time to do what I need to do. And you see there, I get caught slipping, anticipating the dex. And I should have hit more into his block. Shout out to Teflon for pointing that out to me. And I told him I could have. Man, I was nervous too with this fight. Because it's fucking Ant-Man. Now, I'm in control right now. Look at this. I don't have really any major issues. I got to wait out the shift. I just felt I did what was more comfortable for me because of the duel process. Hitting the block would have been really smart. And it's something I would do. But I really played like a newbie just because I wasn't. And look, I was not 100% comfortable and confident in Ant-Man's attack damage to get this fight down. You see there, I get my daughter's Life 360. Got to track my baby girl. But look, you see it, and I should have threw more heavies. That was the other thing. I should have threw more heavies, but that really wasn't part of the. I mean, I didn't have a fight strategy from any other player. That I know. They're like, yeah, man, he'll work. You're just going to have to play it clean. But, he's buff immune. So his kit really helped for the node and against Sorcerer Spider-Man being that he's buff immune. I just had to play this slow. It's not super clean, but it's effective. And I could have did better. But for a debut, I'm not complaining because I'm going to get this solo. Again, my daughter... and I had to play through that, right? And shame on me for making a noob mistake and not turning off my stuff. But you can see it. I'm just building this up. I'm getting ready for this SP2 Liu Kang kick to the face. Fight is going to be over. He's indestructible. Once that falls off, this fight is over. We're going to wait out even though I know I could have just went on ahead and attacked him because I'm not using Ant-Man again for any other fight. But hey, why not, right? Let's just do this in style. Oh my goodness. Not the boot to the face. That was beautiful. I've had a lot of good comments on this, and then I've had, of course, the criticism, constructive criticism, how I could have played that differently. I had to explain to these guys, man, look, it's Ant-Man. It's fucking Ant-Man versus Sorcerer Spider, first time ever, All right, so this fight here, it's a rank 4 Terrax. They banned Colossus, which is a smart ban, and that's who Colossus would smash them. Armor break immune, UG, debuff detox. But so is Havoc's not armor break immune, but you can counter that with use your debuff detox global to your benefit. And you do got to play Havoc a little differently. And I do not recommend that you do the intercept backdraft on him to build power. No, you're going to see how I have learned through offseason how to better play Havoc on this node if there's a Terrax there, because of his rock shield. Armor breaks off the little rock shield. You see there, I'm just kind of slow playing it. I'm going to get a parry here and there. I got a dex here and there. And that's so that I have some. I want to try to keep these in the bank. Now I'm going to build power. And you can see it, man. I mean, I'm at Sig 200, so my passive power gain is pretty good. I've still came in here ready to go with an SP1. And you know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure I get to the SP3 and make sure that my debuffs are going to stick. I did not have unsteady buff on me, and watch the damage. Oof, Terrax. Ooh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Over 150k of damage right there. He's almost dead. Again, we want to make sure we're getting some parries and a few dexes. I've got debuff detox charges just to help me in case something goes bad. And of course my plasma debuffs, the incinerates and the shocks are just feeding my plasma debuffs and the detonations are just nice. Plus, I'm already back in SP3. Fight over. It's too easy, man. When a rank 4 Sig 200, you should not ever die. If there's a null there, it wouldn't even matter. Arcus, it doesn't matter. Not with Havoc. You just got to play it a little bit differently. And trust me, the debuff detox, use that to your advantage to stay out of trouble, and you'll get the win. Now, you're about to see a string of fights I was not supposed to take, but we had to adjust for season. Time was we had some players unavailable. I was not supposed to take this anti-venom fight, but I do. And I'm going to run Ultron. Remember what I said earlier. Ultron, this is the first war I'm ever using. And he's debuff detox. So I'm going to play this a little safe. You see I'm stacking armor. You got to get the armor with, the parries. But I'm also needing to make sure I parry or dex to keep debuff detox charges. I wanted to remove the heal block that you start with. That's why I paused it earlier. And I really want to just make sure I keep debuff detox charges, because anti-venom can put a lot of freaking debuffs on him. And then he goes unblockable on this node. Now, is he the hardest defender? No. But you can get wrecked if you're not careful. And then the regen can maybe get the better of you. And you can see here, I don't play this too clean on this particular fight. You'll see it. Desperation mode in a sense. Get up, throw the SP1, try to create some space. And I'm trying to make sure I keep these charges. Now, my auto evade helps as well in this fight. And you're going to see it, man. Like, something with AV, when he throws those attacks, he gets a little aggressive. His heavy's it's kind of like a Killmonger's heavy in the sense, the delayed double hit. Weird timing. I did push him to the SP3. It's not like I really wanted to. It happened. I did have the invulnerability boost on. But like a rookie, I made a couple of mistakes, but I also have my regen with Ultron, which is really, really nice. Now I'm going to go for the kill. I'm going to throw this SP3, and this is where the fight's going to turn, and I'll get him out. I think it's just me getting more and more familiar with some of my champs that I used to play with back in the day, or whatever the case, especially with buffs. Come out there with the SP1, he's stunned. throw that, and then I finish with that heavy. And you see the damage. He was at like 50-something%. That's fight. That's over with. Could have played that one a little bit cleaner, but I'm not trying to make excuses. Man, I like I said, this is the first where I'm using Ant-Man and Ultron in war. All right, so this fight is great because he's debuff detox and he can get armored. The key to this fight is you've got to be able to parry him in order to put the armors up, and the armors last pretty long. You see it right there. I want to do that, but if you parry, you also get debuff detox charges. So if you don't, those plasma detonations will eat you up. Now, what I'm doing in my strategy is I want to get a couple parries off. That way I can get the armor stack, but also get the debuff detox. And then I want to pick my window and start wrecking them. And you see it here, I'm just doing like small hit combos. I'm not doing anything too big. And I'm just trying to get a feel for this particular Havoc. And I'm monitoring my armors. You see it there, I was at 3, then I went back up to 5. Okay, now I want to get to that SP2. I threw the heavy. I'm watching the damage. You see it, I'm just kind of slow playing it. SP2, we're going to start wrecking. Alright. You see his health pool. It's starting to just dwindle down. Check my armors. I'm at 4. No issues. His SPs, you know you're going to dex all of it. And you're going to get debuff charges through the roof. I don't know what happened there, but the boy got clipped. Got all happy and excited. Using Ultron and seeing what I needed to see. The fight's over. Alright, thank God, you know, that's why you place a certain boost on invulnerability boost, man. Now, this is the fight I wasn't supposed to take either. We were crunched for time, and I had to take this fight. Now, Havoc can do it. Havoc can do this fight. You just, it's Nova, so you've got to intercept him twice. First one's going to go auto block. Then you got to get the second one, and then you can turn off protection. So it's a good placement. What I want to do is that's what I want to do and build up power, right? I don't even care if I turn it off, but I do want to turn it off and then get as much damage as I can in between. Plus, try to get to my rhythm of intercepts. Because I know I'm going to have to do this at least 2 or 3 times to get to the SP3, and then make sure I do it before I fire the SP3 off. I say all of that now so that when this fight starts, you're going to understand what I'm doing, which is pretty simple, right? I'm not worried about him mighty charge and all that. That's not what I'm worried about, because I don't care with the plasma debuffs. All I want to do is get to the SP3 and nuke his ass. And you'll see here, this was an expensive round. An expensive round because of, well, I mean, I'm one of the planners, so you know, call it what it is. We just had some issues with some movement, which kind of forced us to go to plan B. I'm plan B option for this fight. But it's going to go well. You'll see it. There's the first intercept. He gets the auto block. I know this. Back up. Find the next window. There's the intercept. Protection's off. And now do as much damage as I can in between, but kind of play this safe there again. And I'm trying to build it at SP3. I'm already at 2 bars. And also pay attention to, you know, passively through this fight, like my power gain, because Havoc's got that passive power gain. And all that other stuff with the 6, it helps. All right, here it is. I had got that one, so I need to, boom, there's the successful one. Look how close we are to the SP3. And watch this. And you know I'm so nuke this dude down. 110k damage. I didn't even crit. Dexed all of that, buddy. You know, we're already back at a SP3, and you know it's lights out, man. Turn off the lights. Now, my war should have been over. And this emergency assignment that I needed to pick up. This also could have been my last fight, but it's not. I think at this point we were like less than an hour, and we got Boss Island fights, and there is a domino. There was another fight I could have took, and I'm gonna end up taking the domino, and it's because of my Ultron. Now, I kind of pride myself on skilled enough to take pretty much any fight. Ultron should easily own a domino here, but you've got to play smart, right? You got to play smart. He's going to debuff. You got a regen. The debuffs are going to allow you to get powers to get to the SP2, right? Her SP1 is just, watch this. Boom. Doesn't really do any damage. So yeah, I mean, this fight here, I was, again, just because this is the first time using Ultron in war, and you just, when you got those kind of fights, you want to be careful. You're going to see this. I'm going to own this fight to a certain point in the fight where I made a stupid mistake, and I'm going to show it positive. And you see it, man. I mean, Ultron is perfect for this. Now, we have 2 rank 4 SIG 200s. They just weren't available to take this fight. We had one of the guys, he had to bring another set of chance. We had another guy, he had to take 49 hazard shield. But look, I mean, I'm like, okay, these guys are right. My Ultron is just, nuking it down. Got to the SP2. Everything looks good. I'm in control. Nice, great damage. Yeah, she's playing ball. She's biting my baits for the SPs. Everything's going good. Now, here's where everything's going shitty. All right, she's not playing ball. I throw this SP2. She blocks it, man. She tears up my fucking invulnerability boost. Now I'm trying to idle. Right there. I backed up to hold block and then let off a block and just idle. And for some reason, he runs. And I was like, oh God, you're going to fucking push it up 3 bars. Look what happens. There's the proof. So, I should have had the solo, considering it was my cherry pop with Ultron versus in war, and then versus that domino. But I had the solo right there, and she didn't go with the bait. I backed up to hold, back up and then just idle. I wanted Ultron to idle, and I cannot explain to the life of me why he decided to take off running and then go hit her, but he does. And yeah, it cost me a death. At that point in the round, we had already lost the war, and I want to say it was like 13-19 or something like that. We had already lost the war, but I mean, I get it. ABs matter. I'd boosted. It wasn't like I put on invulnerability boost. It wasn't like I was trying to die. You see there, I put on another one, even with that little bit of health, respecting a domino. And yeah, it just wasn't, I guess you could say, kind of pressed my luck too much on this fight. And we had somebody else designed to take this fight, but just, again, timing, I don't know what was happening. We could have waited another 20 minutes, but we were already under an hour. And you see it there. Look, Bourbon definitely, after that loss, we lost that round. Look, if you like, please subscribe. Please support, leave a comment. Deuces.